In the previous class, we derived radius expression. Bohr's postulates we discussed. From by using a Bohr's postulates, how to derive the expression for radius of nth orbit of an electron. We derived the formula. Last formula we got radius of nth orbit of hydrogen atom R is equal to n square h square into epsilon naught by pi m into Z square. It is the last formula we have derived in the previous class. If it is a hydrogen atom, we ask to write Z is equal to 1. For example, if a given atom is a hydrogen atom, we can write here. For a hydrogen atom, atomic number Z is equal to 1. In the above formula, if you put Z is equal to 1, we will get a radius of nth orbit of only hydrogen atom, n square h square into epsilon naught by pi m into e square. It is the only for hydrogen atom and above expression for any atom. And by using this, we can write some general points also. So put one note point and so we can write here. From radius formula, r is equal to radius of the nth orbit Rn is equal to, in this formula, except n and z, remaining all are constants. N is a principal quantum number. As orbit changes, n also changes. And as atom changes, z value also changes. That's why I'll write except n and z, remaining all I'll write first here. H into h square into epsilon naught divided by pi m into e square. Pi m into e square, this total value constant, into n square by z we can write. N value, z value both are variables, but remaining all these letters are constants. So we can substitute here all the values and we'll get one constant value, fixed value. Here we know Planck's constant value. H value is equal to 6.62 or 625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 whole square into epsilon naught. In the first track, first chapter, we have given this value. Permittivity of the free space, absolute permittivity, we have the value 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. In electric charges and the field, we can discuss this value also. Divided by pi value 22 by 7 or write a 3.14. Mass of electron 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31. And the charge of electron also we know 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole square. So this total value constant into n square by z as it is should write. Now step by step we will simplify here. First 6.625 into 6.625 into 8.854. 6.625 into 6.625 into 8.854. 388.60 into your powers 34 2s are 68. 10 to the power of minus 68 into 10 to the power of minus 12 divided by, now we will come to the denominator. Here 3.14 into 9.1 into 1.6 into 1.6. 73.149 into, we'll check the powers. Here minus 31, 10 to the power of minus 31 into, here 19 2s are 38, 10 to the power of minus 38. Now divide this value, 388.60 divided by 73.149, 5.31, 2 we can write into, now we'll check the powers. Minus 68 minus 12 is equal to minus 80. 10 to the power of minus 80 into here 10 power minus 31 minus 38 minus 69 minus 69 taken to numerator plus 69, that is called 5.31 into 80 minus 69 11. So 5.31 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meter. But in all the cases, we should write into n square by z as it is. Into n square by z. Here also you should write into n square by z. Here also same. This value into n square by z. So radius of nth orbit of any atom, or I'll modify this one. Therefore, radius of nth orbit of any atom is equal to 0.53. I'll write. So, or we write 5.31, we round off to 5.3, we can write 5.3 into 10 power minus 11 or 0.53 into 10 to the power of minus 10 into n square by z. It is in a meter. In the SI system in meters, we can write this formula also. But 10 to the power of minus 10 meters equal, we know 1 angstrom unit. So that we write radius of nth orbit of any atom is equal to 0.53 into n square by z. So, but this will be in a angstrom unit. So, no need to practice the derivation or calculation for exam, but remember last formula. Sometimes question may be asked, what is the radius of second orbit of hydrogen atom? So we should write here n is equal to 2, hydrogen atom z is equal to 1. Sometimes what is the radius of fourth orbit of singly ionized helium atom? Fourth orbit n is equal to 4 and helium atom z is equal to 2, you should write. We can calculate easily. So that's important. If it is for example for n is equal to 1, z is equal to 1, means radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom. First orbit of hydrogen atom. In the above formula, if you put these values, we'll get R is equal to R naught is equal to 0.53 into 1 square by Z. That equal to 0.53 only will get. So radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is how much, means it is equal to 0.53 angstrom unit. It is also called as Bohr's radius. So that doesn't mean the radius of the scientist. So radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is also called as Bohr's radius. So sometimes they may use this word. So Bohr's radius indicates radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is a fixed value, 0.53 angstrom unit. If it is for example second orbit, then n is equal to 2, you should write. Z is equal to 1. That equal 2 square is equal to 4. 4 into 0.53. We can write the value. For example, for second orbit of hydrogen atom, what is the value, means R2 is equal to radius of the second orbit is equal to here 4 into 0.53. That equal 2.12 angstrom unit. If it is for example third orbit, for n is equal to 3 and z is equal to same hydrogen atom only. That equal 3 square is equal 9. 9 into 0.53. 4.77 angstrom unit. So that is the radius of the first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, and so on. We can calculate by using this simple formula. Or how the radius depends upon the quantum number. How the radius of nth orbit of an atom related to the quantum number. So from that formula we can write Rn is directly proportional to n square, but inversely proportional to z. In this formula 0.53 constant. That's why R proportional to n square, but R is inversely proportional to z. If any ratio problems asked, we can write R1 by R2 is equal to n1 by n2 whole square into z2 by z1. So any ratio problems asked means we can use this formula. It is one of the important formula. Radius and quantum number and also z relation. Or only if you take a hydrogen atom, how the radius depends means Rn is directly proportional to n square for the value of Z is equal to 1. In a hydrogen atom, radius is directly proportional to square of the principal quantum number. So we can write here what is the ratio of R1 is to R2 is to R3 and so on, last Rn. What is the ratio of the radii of first, second, third orbits of hydrogen atom? We can write a first orbit, general formula n square. First orbit means we should write 1 square. Second orbit, we should write 2 square. Third orbit, we should write 3 square, and so on. Nth orbit is equal, we should write n square. Or we can also write this value 1 is to 4 is to 9, next to 25, 36, 49, and so on will get. And finally it is equal to n square. So, for example, question asked, what is the radius in a hydrogen atom? What is the ratio of radius of 6th and 7th orbits? 6th and 7th orbit means it is equal to R6 by R7 is equal to 6 square by 7 square. 6 6 are 36, 7 7 are 49. So that equal 36 by 49 you should write. Simple formula. It is important. But from this you have to understand one important thing. All the orbits are not equally spaced. First orbit, for example, only 0.53 radius angstrom, but second orbit not double. That is equal to 4 times 2 square. That equal to 2.12 we got. Third orbit we got 4.77. So 1 is to 4 is to 9 means all the orbits are not equally spaced. It is for example a first orbit, and it is a second orbit, and next it is a third orbit 4 times, next 9 times, and 25 times. So that's important question. Don't note down that one. All the orbits of electron, all the orbits of an electron are not equally spaced. All the orbits of electron are not equally spaced. Or not equally spaced. One question, am I right? Simple question. Find the radius of third orbit of the third orbit of doubly ionized lithium, or write simply Li plus plus. Singly ionized helium means He plus. Doubly ionized lithium, Li plus plus. Doubly ionized lithium atom. Lithium already we know atomic number 3. So we can use this formula now. Find the radius of third orbit of doubly ionized lithium atom. So we know n value, we know z value, and substitute here and calculate radius. Try that one. So they have given n is equal to 3, third orbit. Z is equal to also 3, lithium. So Li plus plus doubly ionized lithium. So lithium also having atomic number 3. Now write in the above formula. Radius of the third orbit of lithium atom 0.53 into n square is equal to 3 square divided by Z is equal to also 3. So here 3 get cancelled. That is called 0.53 into 3. 1.59 angstrom unit. Radius of the third orbit of this one, lithium atom. One more question. If the radius of if the radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom, radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is a naught. So write small a suffix 0, I'm right, a naught. Radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is a naught. Then find the radius of second orbit of doubly ionized or singly ionized, right? Already previous problem is solved. Doubly singly ionized helium atom. Singly ionized helium atom means He plus atom. Singly ionized helium atom. Now read the question carefully. Radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom they given. I'll take here. One is they given a hydrogen atom, and the second one they given singly ionized helium, He plus they given. One is a hydrogen, one is a helium. So they given a radius of the first orbit means n is equal to 1 or n1 is equal to 1. Atomic number Z1 is equal to 1, hydrogen atom. Similarly, radius R1 is equal to, we should write A naught. It is a given data. In the first line of the question they given radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom. So n is n1 equal to 1, Z1 equal to 1 and R1 equal to A naught. Now they asked a question, find the radius of means we have to calculate R2 question mark. Find the radius of second orbit means they given n2 is equal to 2, you should write. Singly ionized helium atom, for helium atomic number 2 should write. Now use this formula, 0.53 constant only, R proportional to n square by z. From the formula R proportional to n square by z, we should write R1 by R2 is equal to n1 by n2 whole square into z2 by z1, you should write. Now substitute all the values, we will get the required value. Here R1 is equal to A naught, but R2 value we need to calculate is equal to N1 hydrogen atom means the first orbit is equal to 1 and the second orbit we should write here 1 by 2 whole square into helium atom Z2 is equal to 2, hydrogen atom Z1 is equal to 1. Therefore, A naught by R2 is equal to 1 by 2 whole square is equal to 1 by 4 into 2, you should write. May cancel 2 1s are 2 2s are cancelled. Therefore, A naught by R2 is equal to 1 by 2. That implies R2 is equal to A naught. That implies R2 is equal to 2 into A naught. R2 is equal to 2 A naught. Correct? Okay, that's all. R2 equal to 2 A naught. Not necessary. So that is about the radius. Different problems we can solve by studying radius formulae and also how it related with the quantum number and also Z. Now we'll go for next derivation, velocity of electron or speed of electron in the nth orbit of nth stationary orbit. Put the slide heading. Expression for speed of an electron. Expression for speed of an electron in nth stationary orbit. Expression for speed of an electron in nth stationary orbit of an atom. Your stationary orbit always represents to Bohr's model. Nth stationary orbit of an atom. So first we'll derive the formula for any atom and later we can apply this one to hydrogen atom by placing a Z is equal to 1. Speed of electron in the nth stationary orbit of an atom. But here also we have to use yesterday For radius side derivation, whatever method we followed, so also we'll follow the same method. So we'll use a Bohr's second postulate. And also fifth point given yesterday, the 2 points we'll use here. Now here also check. I'll take any one atom, the central part of the atom where the total positive charge and almost all the mass of the atom concentrated is called nucleus. So the central part of the atom is called nucleus. And it is one orbit, nth orbit, like first or second or third or fourth, one nth orbit I am choosing here. So it is a nucleus. One electron is revolving around the nucleus in an orbit of radius r. Radius of the nth orbit where electron revolving is r. And mass of electron is equal to m, and the charge of electron is equal to e, mass m. And the speed of electron in this orbit is equal to v. But why electron is revolving in this orbit means which force is required? Centripetal force. So the necessary centripetal force is provided by electrostatic force between the electron and also nucleus. In the previous class already we have given this one. Now I'll write here the necessary centripetal. Simple explanation you should write in exam. If the same question asked, we can draw the simple diagram. For a diagram, no marks will be given, almost a simple diagram only. So how to write means, let us consider an atom with atomic number Z, an electron of mass m and a charge E is revolving around the nucleus with a speed v. Let r be the radius of the circular orbit. The simple explanation in your own words you should write. Now, for circular motion of electron, the necessary centripetal force. For circular motion of electron, the necessary centripetal force is provided by the electrostatic force, between the nucleus and electron. Required centripetal force is provided by the electrostatic force between the nucleus and electron. That you should write. But we know centripetal force formula mv square by r, where m is equal to mass of electron, v speed of electron, and r radius of the circular orbit is equal to electrostatic force formula. Already we know, yesterday class I have given 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 or q2 by r square. It is according to Coulomb's inverse square law. But charge of the nucleus, what you should write means q1 is equal to Ze, because the nucleus contains Z protons. Charge of one proton is E and Z protons equal to Ze. Similarly, charge of the electron q2 is equal to E, you should write. Substitute in the above formula. mv square by r is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 is equal to Ze and q2 is equal to E by r square. So both sides may cancel one r. Therefore, this r also may take left side. mv square into r is equal to Ze into E is equal to Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught. That is equal to equation 1. So by using electrostatic force and by equating electrostatic force and centripetal force, we got the first equation. mv square into r is equal to Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught. But yesterday we have given a Bohr's postulates. In that one important postulate, second postulate. So what we have given according to Bohr's second postulate, electrons cannot revolve in all the orbits. Only in those orbits in which angular momentum of electron must be equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. That is only called Bohr's second postulate. So according to Bohr's second postulate, we know the formula mvr, angular momentum of electron, is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. Equation 2. Divide first equation with the second equation, we will get the speed of electron. Now dividing equation 1 by equation 2. We get divide the left side of the first equation, the left side of the second equation. Left side of the first equation we have mv square r divided by left side of the second equation mvr, and right side of the second equation, right side of the first equation ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught into I am writing. If write into means it become 2 pi by nh, you should write into 2 pi by nh. If any cancellation is there, cancel the terms. Here m get cancelled, r also cancelled, one v also get cancelled. Only left side we have v, speed of electron, and right side also if any cancellation. Here pi or 2 pi ones are, here 2 pi twos are cancelled. So 2 times cancelled, pi cancelled, 2 ones are, 2 twos are. Write remaining letters. That is called ze square by, here already this value cancelled, only ze square by 2 epsilon naught into nh. That is the speed of electron in the nth orbit of any atom. So not a particular atom, any atom given, we can use this formula. So particularly if they asked a hydrogen atom, then I'll write here. For if you want to write the formula for a hydrogen atom, we know atomic number of hydrogen atom z is equal to 1. Therefore I'll substitute here velocity of electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen atom, z place may put 1, we can neglect that one. Only e square by 2 epsilon naught into nh. So while solving or while deriving the formula in a final exam, if it is asked at 5 marks, we have to read the question carefully and you have to understand. So for example, if they asked derive an expression for the speed of an electron in a nth stationary orbit of a hydrogen atom asked, then we have to derive the formula up to here. If they are not asked about a hydrogen atom, so we can stop the formula up to here. So only for this particular last 1 mark will be given. That's why very important. Up to here you should solve the derivation. So note down this derivation. First we are using a centripetal force is equal to electrostatic force. By equating both, we got the first equation mv square into r is equal to ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught. Next we are using Bohr's second postulate, which is also called Bohr's frequency condition, Bohr's quantization condition of angular momentum. We got mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. Now we are dividing the first and second equations. Any cancellation of letters are there, we cancelled. Then we got the velocity of electron in the nth orbit of any atom. It is for hydrogen atom. Here z atomic number and e charge of electron epsilon naught, absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum, and n principal quantum number, h Planck's constant. Here also, what are the constants and what are the variables in this formula? Except z and n, remaining all are constants. Charge of electron constant, Planck's constant also constant, epsilon naught also constant. Only z and n are variables. So by keeping a z and n aside, we can calculate on a fixed value also. So I'll give this one. Put one note point. Check here. I'll give one note point of how it depends upon speed and various factors. So from that last formula, velocity of electron in the nth orbit of an atom is equal to, by keeping a z and n aside, we have e square by 2 epsilon naught into h into, only it is equal to z by n, you should write separately. Z and n both are variables, but remaining all are constants. I'll substitute all the constant values here and I'll calculate one fixed value. So that is called charge of electron. We know 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole square divided by 2 into epsilon naught value 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 it is a fixed value for air or a vacuum or free space, into Planck's constant 6.62 or 625 into 10 to the power of minus 34, and remaining value we should write z by n as it is, should write the two letters. Now numerator value 1.6 into 1.6 means 2.56, 10 power minus 19 whole square minus 38 divided by this value. How to multiply? 2 into 8.854 into 6.625, 117.31 into 10 to the power of minus 34 minus 12 equal to minus 46 into z by n. Correct? Now 2.56 by 117.31, divide the values. 0.0216 into 10 to the power of, take minus 46 numerator, 46 minus 38, 10 to the power of 8 into z by n, or adjust one more digit or two digits, 2.16 into 10 to the power of 6 into z by n. It is the speed of electron in any atom in the nth orbit. It is in meter per second. So remember this shortcut formula. If for example they asked what is the speed of electron in first orbit of hydrogen atom, z equal 1, n equal 1, that is only value. What is the speed of electron in the second orbit of hydrogen atom, z equal 1, n equal 2, we can calculate also. Particularly for hydrogen atom, or from this how it depends upon the quantum number and n means speed of electron is directly proportional to z but inversely proportional to n. That implies v1 by v2 is equal to z1 by z2 into n2 by n1, we can write. Speed of electron in the nth orbit of any atom, how it is related with various z values and various n values. If a ratio problem asked, use that formula. And one more, if a particularly asked for a hydrogen atom, for hydrogen atom we can put z is equal to 1, atomic number z is equal to 1. Therefore, speed of electron in the nth orbit is equal to 2.16 into 10 to the power of 6 into z is equal to 1. In place of z, put 1. Therefore, only we got by n, divided by n only will obtain. Therefore, divided by n we can write in a meter per second. It is only for hydrogen atom. So, it is for any atom speed. If it is a first orbit of hydrogen atom, for n is equal to 1, then what is the speed of electron means 2.16 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second. Speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom, approximately 2.2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. If it is a second orbit of hydrogen atom, n is equal to 2. V2 is equal to 2.16 into 10 power 6 by 2, you should write, divided by 2. 2.16 into 10 power 6 by 2 equal to 1.08 into 10 power 6 meter per second. If it is a third orbit of hydrogen atom, n is equal to 3, we should divide with 3. Therefore, V3 is equal to 2.16 into 10 power 6 by 3. 0.7 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second. So observe carefully. When orbital number increases, quantum number increases, what happens to speed? First 2.16 into 10 power 6, 1.08 into 10 power 6, 0.72 into 10 power 6. So as we are going away from the nucleus in various orbits, speed gradually decreases. What is the speed of electron in the last orbit of hydrogen atom? Their last orbit means infinite orbit. If you write 2.16 into 10 power 6 by infinity, so something by infinity is equal to 0. So in the last orbit, almost electron has no speed. It easily escaped from the orbit also. That is in various orbits we can write like this. Only for speed means you can write here Vn proportional to quantum number and speed, inversely proportional to n. Therefore, V1 by V2 is equal to N2 by N1 we can write. As the principal quantum number increases, as the principal quantum number increases, the speed of electron, as the principal quantum number increases, the speed of electron decreases. Principal quantum number increases, speed of electron decreases. I'll calculate one more value. In the first orbit of hydrogen atom, we know the value. Remember this one carefully. 2.16 into 10 power 6 meter per second. First orbit. I'll use one more value. So find this as C by 137. So C is equal to nothing but speed of light. We know already 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So C value already we know. I'll calculate C by 137 value. That equal to 3 into 10 power 6 by 137. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by 137 equal to 0.021 approximately 8 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second, or it is equal to 2.18 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second, or we round up this value to 2.2 also. 2.2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. Same way, what is the speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom? Here also if you round up this value 2.2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. Same only. So the speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom is equal to C by 137 times. That equal to 1 by 137 times that of the speed of light. It's important. So note down this point. Speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom. In the complete exams, this questions will be asked. Speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom is equal to speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom is equal to 1 by 137 times 1 by 137 times 1 by 137 times the speed of light. 1 by 137 times the speed of light. 137 times the speed of light. If for example, not first orbit, we should write here into n. Not hydrogen atom, we should write into z. So we write speed of electron in the nth orbit of any atom is equal to C by 137 into, it is equal to z by n is should write. So speed of electron in the nth orbit of any atom is equal to C by 137 into z by n. Z atomic number and n principal quantum number should write. So it is about the speed of electron and also radius of electron in the nth orbit of an atom. So these are the two derivations. By using the speed, we can also find what is the frequency and also what is the time period and what is the angular speed. But in regular syllabus, angular speed, that concept not given. But for a complete exams, important only. Right, next. The angular speed of electron. The angular speed of electron in nth stationary orbit. The angular speed of electron in nth stationary orbit. The angular speed of electron in the nth stationary orbit. I'll take from the formula. So what is the angular speed meaning? The rate of angular displacement is called angular speed. In the first year we have angular speed, angular velocity, angular acceleration in rotational motion concept we have. Now I'll use the formula. From the formula V is equal to R omega. We have S is equal to R theta, V is equal to R omega, and A is equal to R alpha. We have the formula. V is equal to linear speed, R radius of the circular orbit, and omega is equal to angular speed. We have the relation. From this angular speed, omega is equal to formula V by R. If take this R left side, we'll get omega equal to V by R. But in the previous class and today class, we already derived the formula for radius and also speed. So substitute both in this formula. Check here, what is the radius formula? We know radius of nth orbit is equal to formula already given, n square h square into epsilon naught by pi m into z square. It is a radius derivation already given. And in today class, we derived the speed formula. So speed of electron in the nth orbit is equal to z square by 2 epsilon naught into nh. Substitute these two formulae in the above case. Therefore, omega is equal to, first I'll write V is equal to z square divided by 2 epsilon naught into nh. It is equal to the linear speed of electron into, I'll write, into pi m into z square by n square h square into epsilon naught. Now you should simplify this one. Here z square into z square. Z square into e power 4 will get, correct? That is equal to z square, or write first pi m. Pi into m into z square into e to the power of 4 divided by, here 2 into epsilon naught into epsilon naught square into n square is equal to n cube into h square is equal to h cube. So it is a formula for angular speed of electron in any atom. But in a regular syllabus, derivation not given, no need to practice any derivation. So these are the note points only. Only remember this formula. If it is a particularly for a hydrogen atom asked, what is the angular speed of electron in the hydrogen atom? Hydrogen atom put atomic number Z is equal to 1. Therefore, angular speed of electron in the nth orbit is equal to pi m into e to the power of 4 by 2 epsilon naught square into n cube, h cube you should write. N cube into h cube. It is for hydrogen atom. Particularly for hydrogen atom, how to use this formula. And if you want to get a shortcut formula for complete exams, so how to write this formula means, we know omega is equal to V by N, V by R. Omega is equal to V by R. But V already we have given a formula. That is equal to value of V is equal to 2.16 into 10 to the power of 6 into Z by N divided by radius is equal to, we know, 0.53 angstrom or into 10 to the power of minus 10 into n square by z. So already these two shortcut values are given. Now divide this value 2.16 or 2.2 divided by 0.53. 4.075 or round up to 0.8 into minus 10 you may take to numerator plus 10, total 16 into 10 to the power of 16 into z also may take to numerator. Z into z is equal to z square divided by n into n square is equal to n cube. It is a unit radian per second. 10 power 16 you should write. So angular speed of electron in the any orbit, we can write the shortcut value 4.08 into 10 to the power of 16 into z square by n cube. So from this formula, omega proportional to z square but inversely proportional to n cube. That implies omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to z1 by z2 whole square into n2 by n1 whole cube we should write. If any ratio problem is asked, we can use this formula. Angular speed of electron. If it is a hydrogen atom asked, no need to write Z. Z equal 1 only. Omega proportional to 1 by n cube. Only omega 1 by omega 2 equal to n2 by n1 whole cube should write. And similarly, when electron is revolving around the nucleus, it will take some time to complete one rotation. That can be called as time period of electron. Next one, right? Time period of electron in nth stationary orbit. Time period of an electron in the nth stationary orbit. So when electron is revolving in a particular stationary orbit, to complete one rotation, whatever the time taken by electron, so that time can be called as time period. So we'll derive the formula for time period of electron. Here also no need to practice a derivation for PU level. But we know general formula, time period of electron T is equal to 2 pi by omega. In the first PUC we have this formula also. Time period is equal to angular displacement by angular velocity. Whenever electron completed one rotation, angular displacement is equal to 2 pi radian or 360 degree. That equal 2 pi by omega. Or we can also write the same formula 2 pi by omega is equal, now only given V by R. In place of the omega, we may write a V by R. Take R to the numerator. Therefore, it is equal to 2 pi into R by V. 2 pi R by V. One more formula. So, different formula we can use. T equal 2 pi by omega or 2 pi R by V also we can write. But already we know radius formula and also V formula, or we know omega formula. We will substitute here. Directly omega place we write this formula and we'll get one more equation. Therefore, T is equal to 2 pi by omega plus I'll substitute this one. Pi m into z square into e to the power of 4 divided by 2 epsilon naught square into n cube into h cube. Take this value to numerator. Here 2 into 2, here pi get cancelled. Then 2 into 2 is equal to 4. Therefore, T is equal to, should write 4 epsilon naught square into n cube into h cube divided by m into z square into e to the power of 4. It is a time period of electron in nth stationary orbit of any atom. So not particularly hydrogen, any atom, we can use this formula. So particularly hydrogen atom asked, then we should put for Z is equal to 1. So time period of electron T is equal to 4 epsilon naught square into n cube into h cube by m into e to the power of 4 only should write. And in that above formula, we can write here already we are using this formula T is equal to 2 pi by omega, but omega already we calculated here, so we can substitute in this formula also omega place. Therefore, from the formula T is equal to 2 pi by omega, that is equal to 2 into pi value 3.14 divided by omega value obtained here already 4.08 into 10 power 16. 4.08 into 10 to the power of 16 into z square by n cube. Now simplify this one. 2 into 3.14, 6.28 by 4.08. 1.539 or round up to 1.54 into 10 to the power of minus 16 into n cube by z square seconds. It is a formula for a time period of electron in the nth stationary orbit of an atom. We should write in a SI unit as second. So observe this value, 10 power minus 16 seconds. So electron will take a very less time to complete one rotation in an atom. If it is a first orbit of hydrogen atom, it will take only 1.54 into 10 power minus 16 seconds. very less interval of time electron will take to complete one rotation in the given orbit. So in this formula, time period is always directly proportional to n cube, but inversely proportional to z square. That implies T1 by T2 is equal to N1 by N2 whole cube into Z2 by Z1 whole square. You should write Z2 by Z1 whole square. So that is a time period, quantum number and also atomic number relation. If a particularly time period and principal quantum number relation has to be right, T proportional to n cube. That implies T1 by T2 is equal to N1 by N2 whole cube. You should write. So time period of electron in the two various orbits, we can write that T1 by T2 is equal to N1 by N2. But sometimes they may ask the question, how the time period and radius related. One electron is the revolving nth orbit of an atom and the radius of that atom is equal r. But how the time period of electron and the radius related? I'll check that one. We know radius and the principal quantum number relation are proportional to n square. R is directly proportional to n square. But we know time period and the quantum number T proportional to n cube. So T is a proportional to n cube, but R is a proportional to n square. But here in place of the n we have to replace with R. So from this formula, write n proportional to R to the power of 1 by 2, nothing but root R. R proportional to n square, but n is proportional to root R. Root place I am writing a whole power n by 2. So in place of the n we may write R power 1 by 2. Therefore T is directly proportional to R power 1 by 2 whole cube should write. That implies so T proportional to R power 3 by 2. So time period of electron and the radius of the circular orbit relation T proportional to R power 3 by 2. That implies T1 by T2 is equal to R1 by R2 whole to the power of 3 by 2. Anywhere observed this formula? In the first PUC, if take for example this whole power 1 by 2 left side, what will get? Whole power 1 by 2 if take left side means you will get a square. T1 by T2 whole square is equal to R1 by R2 whole cube. Then if you remove that one, T square proportional to R cube, nothing but. So in this formula, it is nothing but equal to T square proportional to R cube only. In the first Kepler's laws, we have Kepler's third law is there, correct? The gravitation chapter, Kepler's 3 laws of planetary motion, third law. When a planet is revolving around the sun, the square of time period of the planet is directly proportional to the cube of mean distance of the planet around the sun. So same formula we can also apply to electrons around the nucleus. So here the square of time period of electron around the nucleus is directly proportional to the cube of average distance of the electron from the nucleus you should take. So simple formula. So that's why it is also one important relation. Remember carefully. That is about the time period of electron. Exactly whatever the time period up to I have given. If you take a reciprocal 1 by, what will get? Frequency. Simple. So frequency is equal to formula 1 by time period. Means a time taken by electron to complete one rotation is called as a time period. In 1 second, the number of rotations made by electron is called frequency. Here also, if take whatever formula we got, if take a reciprocal, means the first you should write numerator this one, m into z square into e power 4 by, that is called 4 epsilon naught square into n cube h cube. That is a frequency formula. Here also same, you should take a reciprocal. Here also you should take all the values reciprocal, means 1 by 1.54 into 10 power minus 16 into z square by n cube will get the value. Here also we can calculate everything. So in tomorrow class, we'll discuss the frequency of electron around the nucleus and also what is the total energy of electron in the given stationary orbit, means PE, KE, and also total energy. What is the energy level diagram? What is the energy of electron in the various orbits? We'll discuss in tomorrow class. So okay, thank you.